The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 346 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez and my co-host as always is
the magistrate of Caravan City. I'm Joe from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What's up?
Oh, Gomez, so many good things. You know, we finally get to end video game movie month here, which is turning out to be a blessing.
You know, I was just reminded of this. This was your idea, the video game movie.
Probably was. I don't know how to think. Why would you trust me?
I had something else, and you're like, oh, well, what about this? Because of Mario. I said, you know what? Let's do it. Boy, I regret listening to you.
That was an egregious error in judgment. Write it down. Don't listen to me. Listen to my reviews. My reviews are correct.
Yes.
And the idea was good.
It was. Man. It's just, you know, when you really look at that list, whew, yeah, slim pickings, bro.
A lot of bad movies based on video games out there. Who would have thought?
Video games are good. I don't know what happened.
Lost in translation somehow.
I don't understand.
Thank you guys for listening. Remember to follow everywhere on social media at JoeMeZ. Remember to hit that subscribe button wherever it is that you're consuming this podcast, especially if it's YouTube, iTunes, all that good stuff. Leave a 5-star review, and only 5 stars. We only accept the 5-star variety, of course. And a couple of people, Gomez, actually paid attention, listened to the homework, actually did it. So we got a couple reviews we got to read.
Whoa.
And it's a good week. It's a good week.
Boy. Oh, I'm excited.
So first one comes from our double main man, Dave Nagel, who I know as a Card Foundation guy, I believe. You know how I kind of traipse the all over the major pod network. He left 5 stars because, of course, titled, Are You My Man? And he wrote quintuple main men. And you know what? That's sometimes all you need to know.
That's it. Short and sweet.
And the next one comes from Pete Cool 237.
Uh-oh.
And I feel like he asked the AI bot on Snapchat to write this for him.
Oh, let me get some snacks and settle in here.
Not as in depth as the GBB last week.
Okay.
But he wrote, "This is great!" 5 stars, because of course, he goes, if you're looking for a fun and engaging podcast that covers all the latest pop culture news and trends, then this is for you. I've been a fan of this show for a while now, and I always look forward to tuning in each week to hear what they have to say. The hosts are knowledgeable, witty, and have great chemistry together, making for an enjoyable listening experience. They cover a wide range of topics from movies and TV shows to music and celebrity gossip. So there's something for everyone. Plus, their commentary is always insightful and entertaining, and they're not afraid to share their honest opinions on the latest happenings in the world of pop culture. Overall, I highly recommend this podcast to anyone who loves staying up to date on all the latest trends and news in the entertainment industry. Well done.
That's a good one. Very good.
So, Pete Cool, Dave Nagel, feel free to reach out, slide into the DMs, wherever it is that you prefer, and we'll get you guys some autographed 8x10s as a thank you, a token of our appreciation for taking the time to leave a 5-star review. But, Gomez.
Oh, what?
In a little follow-up from last week.
Ooh, follow-up.
Kind of made a comment throwing our double main man, Joey Hudson, under the bus a little bit. Because he's left reviews. Joey's a good dude. Listens to the show. Always hits me up. Asks me stuff. or agrees about the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie, which I appreciate. So Joey's a double main man around these parts, and I said he writes all these parody songs for reviews for the Major Pod, and I was kind of, I don't want to say upset, but I felt a little left out that he had never written one for us. And about 6 minutes after the podcast dropped,
love to hear it.
We had one in the DMs. So Joey, you know what? If you don't have one already and you want one, I'll send you a 8x10 as well.
Of course.
5 stars, and he says, to the tune of Jane Says by Jane's Addiction.
Oh, all right.
Okay, now I know the song. I don't know it like great. So if I screw this up,
I don't.
Unless you want to sing it, Gomez.
I'm not a big Jane's Addiction guy.
I don't know anyone who is.
Okay, good.
Although they were a thing for a while.
They were very popular, yes.
Yeah, they were on all the festivals.
Never got it.
Lollapalooza is basically Perry Farrell's thing, so whatever. But as old Stone Cold would say.
That's right. The pipe's ready.
Ready? JoeMeZ. It's my favorite show.
Love it.
I love it when it downloads. They view the television. Says if a show's worth watching. But if she's come back again, this man will say, Grandma, please. Joe, what should I watch tomorrow? What should I watch tomorrow?
This is good.
What should I watch tomorrow? Verse 2.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Joe says, have you seen the latest shows? Naked without his hose. Shoes goes for White Castle sliders. That's okay. Mom takes credit anyway. Gomez takes his family on a plane, but his money isn't safe. Be sure to like and follow. Be sure to like and follow. Be sure to like and follow. Mez ain't mad. He ain't gonna lie. Spin the wheel is a great bit.
It is.
Top 5 chicken parms. I just don't know. I have to think about it. Joe goes to Disney for a date. This is true. Says, goddamn right, Rick Boogs. Mez don't know what we're doing here. Joe pulls chicken from his pocket. Gomez, he drives his kids around. Joe don't know what that even is. He only knows everyone wants him. I like to watch the slaying and also all the slaying. JoeMeZ. JoeMeZ. So there you have it. Joey Hudson, a parody song. I feel like we made it now.
Wow, I love it. We got a song about it. This is great, bro. We've made it.
We are officially a Real Boy podcast.
Wow. I love it. So good.
So what an active week, Gomez. We had a lot of sports going on. We got the playoffs in the NBA and the NHL. Some game sevens.
Playoffs are crazy. Both conferences and both leagues, major upsets. It's incredible.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
The defending Stanley Cup champion, poof, you're out of here. The greatest regular season NHL team of all time, poof, you out of here. The Rangers, just because I fucking hate them, poof, you're out of here. So, I mean, just because my team doesn't make the playoffs, you say Joe don't care. Joe cares. Joe wants all these motherfuckers out that I hate.
Of course.
Good, fucking suck a bag of dicks, Rangers fans.
But Joe, our hometown Bucks, bro, we lost to the Heat. They lost to the Heat in 5 games.
Listen, as someone who lives in the Heat, sometimes you just ain't ready for it.
Oh, it's not good, bro. Unbelievable. So we gotta. So who are we picking now? You thought Boston was winning.
I did, but I did say you gotta watch. You gotta beware. Sure. Anything can happen. You know, once you get to the playoffs, it's a crapshoot. You know, I do the Stone Cold. You know, you run into a hot goalie. How about that?
But there wasn't really a hot goalie, right? It was a lot of physical. It was back and forth.
It was back and forth for a little bit, but the Bruins also had a 3 games to 1 lead, and they blew it. And they lost the game 7 at home.
Terrible.
In a game where they were given 116 power plays too.
Jesus Christ.
They were down 2-0. They started getting like 100 power plays in a row. Tied it up, went into, it was 3-3 regulation, and then Florida won early on in overtime. But pretty insane. Bro. Florida wasn't a bad team, but they struggled during the regular season.
They came on a little late, yeah, but they were struggling.
Yeah, so but yeah, poof, you out of here.
It's crazy. That's gotta be in terms of upsets. I mean, they won 65 out of 82 games. That's just insane, bro. Oh, that's got to be a
the
top
Boston
5
sports
upset.
Town is going nuts right now. Part of me wishes I could listen to sports talk radio over there. I could. I have the internet.
I know Miami Heat fans that love doing that. Love listening to Boston cry whenever something's going on.
I've seen some good rants on Twitter and the social media sites. I've also seen some good Chicago White Sox rants lately because the White Sox are just an incredible mess. Like that fan base is just completely had it and is over it.
So funny, man. Sports has been fun though. I've been loving it.
So what are we looking like in the NBA, Gomez? I know Steph Curry just had a monster game 7 because
game 7.
Everybody's like, oh, he's washed up, he's slaying. I'm sure it's like he's old now, and I guess by pro athlete standards,
he is old.
What he dropped 50 in game 7?
Yes, most points ever in a game 7, bro. Insane,
ridiculous.
Basketball's been good. A lot of fun stuff. The second round's going to be even better now. We got LeBron versus Steph. Oh, baby. Who don't love that shit? That's always
Where does
fun.
Steph rank on kind of like an all-time list? Like, obviously he's not like LeBron level, but is he a top 10 guy all time?
I think he's got to be a top 10 guy. 100%. He changed the game. Nobody's going to come close to these records that this guy has put. It's going to be a long time before someone even comes close to this. And he's got to be. That's the problem. Kids our age, right? It's always LeBron, Jordan, Kobe gets thrown in there. A lot of people love their Kobe from back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not a Kobe guy, and he's always up there. And
people always try, but I think when you talk to real basketball people, Kobe's great. No one's saying Kobe ain't great, but top 5, no, not top 5. Maybe top 10, definitely top 15, top 10. I don't know.
Like where do we put Shaq in there? Shaq the top big man?
I think
Kareem.
I think so. I think Shaq would be a top 10. Just so dominant. Just when Shaq wanted to do something, he did it.
Yeah, and no one could stop. Yeah,
no one could stop it. It's just Shaq. He got lazy sometimes, and didn't put it in there. But my goodness, anytime you cannot do that. That's like with the Greek freak here, Antetokounmpo, right? Mm-hmm. When he wants to do something at the basket, you can't. You just not doing nothing to help him. So it's great. Definitely Shaq's top 10. Tim Duncan, that's someone who
Tim Duncan falls under the radar
because he don't talk. He just
doesn't talk, and he never had big, huge monster numbers either. He was always the epitome of that Spurs team philosophy where everyone had a role and everyone played their role.
What's crazy is I think if Kawhi Leonard wasn't always hurt, this guy could be a top 10 player. When he is on, this guy is incredible. And he was incredible for like 2 games, and then he got hurt again. And it's just like, oh, that's a disaster. I believe their contracts are up. The Clippers, they spent all that equity and cash. Yep. And I mean, shit happens, obviously, a pandemic, people get hurt, but Oh, they invested a lot to not even get to the finals one time.
Not one time.
Not
And
one
speaking
time.
of investing a lot of money, JoeMeZ,
Ooh.
our triple main man, Jacob deGrom,
Oh.
signs the big deal with the Texas Rangers.
Terrible.
Had a late start in spring training, had some kind of issue, had a shoulder or well, either way, he's on the IL again. I almost said the DL again. We don't say that anymore.
Oh, easy, bro.
But Jacob deGrom back on the injured list.
Sucks, bro.
And it sucks. And don't, I'm not cheering against Jacob deGrom. I'm really not.
No.
He didn't want to play in New York. I'm okay with that. I believe you want to work where you want to work. And I get that. And he got the bag. So you know what? Go and take the fucking bag. Anyone would do it. We'd all do it. So I'm glad he got paid. I'm glad he went where he apparently wanted to go. It's just that, on this pod, we cheer for greatness. We say that all the time, right?
Yes.
I want to see this guy do what he's capable of doing.
It's unbelievable. When this guy is on, there's not many people in the history of baseball better than this guy. Yeah. And it's just,
and you just watch it. And obviously, he's a finely tuned athlete. He knows his body. He knows when something's not right. But you look at this and you go, it's been so much at this point. And I don't want to question it. Like I feel like an asshole being the one to say, "Oh, is he really hurt?" But how much of it is being hurt and how much of it is being injured? The difference between hurt and injured. You can play when you're hurt. If you're injured, you're injured. Obviously, he's going on the IL, so obviously something's wrong. But Greg Maddux apparently never got injured. Like he was able to throw all these innings, throw all these pitches. Nolan Ryan, through age 57, was able to throw no hitters. How much of this is Jacob deGrom? Is there an oversensitivity to it? I genuinely don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know his mental makeup. I don't know his mentality. Maybe he is genuinely hurt all this time, but you got to sit here and wonder and say, what is the level here that he can take and he can't take?
So this is fun because there's been this thing in basketball where everyone complains because the regular season is basically bullshit because nobody plays. Everyone's resting for the playoffs, and then the playoffs come, everyone's still getting hurt. It's not like nobody's getting hurt. So how are we playing less games? But like something's got to give, right? What exactly is it? The oversensitivity to stuff like that, where it's just like, if you're a little hurt, let's not risk it. We don't want to take that chance.
There's so much more money invested in these guys that teams are a lot more cautious. I don't know, man. As a fan, it sucks because you want to see the best of the best do what they can do, because that's why we watch the games, right?
Of course.
Because they can. Everybody knows what it's like to shoot a basketball or dribble a bat. We've all played some kind of basketball in our lives, whether that was one-on-one in the yard or just shooting free throws in at somebody's driveway, or playing in a league, or playing high school. At some point in our lives, we've all played basketball. At some point in our lives, we've all played catch, or thought we were a pitcher, or did that I'm Ken Griffey Jr. and tried to hit a home run. We've all done this shit. And the reason why we like these real sports is because we know what it's like to try to do this stuff, and how hard it is to do it in the 7th grade or in the 11th grade, and that these guys are able to do it at the top level. We understand, and we have an appreciation for that. Man, it just like, you sit there, and I don't want to be that guy like, oh, if I was getting paid that much money, I would just fucking go play. Like, because that's not realistic. That's not real. But man, I just want to I want to see what this guy can do, man. Like, at some point, he's already in his mid-30s. Like, the sand is almost through the hourglass at this point.
Oh, this is definitely winding down. I definitely think he's at this point in his career, because he gets hurt so much. I think definitely he feels a little things like, we're just going to take a couple weeks off. We ain't risking nothing crazy. You have to be. It's probably very cautious now.
So have we seen, have we already seen the best of Jacob deGrom? Is there 100%. Nothing more to cheer for?
No, he's definitely, this is why, right? A lot of Met fans, obviously was sad he left, but it wasn't like, oh my God, because it was like, do we really want to give this fucking guy all this
there
money?
was a lot of people out there because he was a homegrown guy, because we had seen everything from him, right? And we'd seen those dominant Cy Young seasons. There was, of course, a segment of the fan base who were, fuck you, traitor, all that shit. And like, I've never been on that boat, but fuck, like, were we really? I don't know that I was upset he left just because I wanted him to stay a Met.
Sure,
but we turned around. We turned around and signed Verlander the next day, and now he'll make his debut this week. Finally, so he'll be back from the DL. So that's good. The Mets haven't looked great. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. But they're hanging around. No one from the NL East really has looked overly impressive. Like the Braves are playing good, but it's not like they're smoking everyone.
Not killing it, but
the Phillies kind of hanging around in there. They got a lot of injuries. Bryce Harper comes back as of this recording tonight, Tuesday. Incredible that he's able to do that.
He's John Cena coming back so soon, bro. What are you doing?
Well, you know what it was? He said he thought he would be back in June originally. So that's why they didn't add him to the 60-man DL at the beginning of spring training. But then when Rhys Hoskins got hurt and now is going to miss the season, Bryce saw that as an opening. Well, I could probably play some first base. I wouldn't really have to throw all that much. So maybe I can get in sooner. Good. So he's, for a couple weeks now. What about
swinging? The swing's not going to.
He says his swing is the swing.
That's more what I'm worried about is the swing more than first base is perfect. Yes, you don't got to do much, but this boy's going to be swinging that bat.
So interesting times ahead. How about the Pittsburgh Pirates, Gomez? You paying any attention to what's going on around the league?
I see, yes, like all these teams that we didn't think would be so good are good. Like the Rangers, right? They were in first place. I don't know if they're still in first place, but I know they've been doing good. Like so,
Houston's hurting right now. They got a lot of people injured. Looks like their starting pitching is very paper thin. To go along with the injuries with that. So they're looking like they're going to have a rough go of it, which has kind of left the door open for a Texas or a Seattle or a Angels to kind of come in there and make some hay. Right now, the Angels. Well, I know we say the Angels.
We wish the Angels, but it's never the Angels.
I know,
never. It's never.
But the Pittsburgh Pirates, 20-8, I think was the last I saw. Playing good ball. Looks like they're minor leaguers who have been promoted are finally making the adjustment to the major leagues. The pitching looks halfway decent. They brought back McCutchen this year, which we thought was like one of those goodwill stories. Like,
he's
just
killing it.
Let the man finish up where he started. Give the wave, the golf clap and stuff.
100%.
But no, the Pirates are here, and right now, through the first month of the season, looking for real. The Orioles playing good baseball. Yankees decimated by injuries, and they didn't look to have a lot of depth coming into the season. Now it looks like it's really shooting them in the ass. Aaron Judge, $40 million a year on the IL. Sometimes these things happen.
When is Cashman going to lose this job? This guy's had a job for, I can't believe he's still the GM after all these years.
Why? See, I've seen people say this. I don't get the infatuation with wanting to see Cashman fired. Like, what do you think you're going to get? He's obviously operating under what ownership is giving him. So you think like if he wanted to go out there and spend $400 million on Bryce Harper, he wouldn't have done it? Like that's the thing with all these GMs. Like, oh, Manny Machado's a free agent. Oh yeah, I'll just give him an extra $10 million than the Padres. You don't think he would have gone to the Yankees over the Padres?
Of course. We're not talking about big money, but small moves. You got to be able to make some small moves here and there to shore up a lineup. And he doesn't really do anything. He just kind of sits back and nothing happens.
He makes a lot of moves. I mean, they got Nestor Cortez out of nowhere, and he went on and was very successful for them last season. It's been pretty good this season. But it's like the Yankees operate, and the fans live in the mentality of old George. Sure. When Steinbrenner was still alive, he didn't care who it was. Whoever is the best player in free agency, whatever the cost is, go get him. That doesn't exist now. Obviously, Cashman has some kind of restraints on. And now I think people who are in the New York area and are Yankee fans and are used to that mentality see what Steve Cohen is doing with the Mets. just blowing people out of the water when it comes to overall team payroll. And look, the Mets may not win shit this year either. So it's not necessarily how much you spend. It's how you spend it, and hopefully everything works out. Obviously, injuries play a role in everything. So if people get hurt, they get hurt, but such is life.
It is. Can't do nothing about it. It's bound to happen.
So one more follow-up I got from last week or the week before. JoeMeZ, AEW a couple weeks ago, their big announcement. We're gonna run Wembley Stadium, and they dug up Desmond Wolfe from wherever he was to make this announcement. And I sat here and said, literally, how many people can they expect to come to this stadium? Is it 30,000? Because 30,000 is a good crowd, but in Wembley Stadium, it's going to look fucking empty. Well, tickets went on sale today as we record this, and they sold over pre-sale.
Yes, it's just pre-sale.
Over 36,000 tickets on day one.
Baby, this is going to happen. I can't wait. It's crazy. I will eat crow. I will eat crow. I was wrong. Apparently, people need that AEW itch scratched over in lovely England. I am shocked by that number, genuinely. It's the first time they're going to the UK, so this is a big deal. And I just think, it sells out like this in the US. So I wonder, they do about when for their pay-per-views and stuff, they're selling out 20,000 seat arenas, stuff like that. So there is a demand for it. 90,000, we'll see, but I definitely think they're going to be getting 50, 60,000 at least, definitely.
From a star power perspective, and listen, a place that big, you got to have star power to fill it. Yeah, okay, AEW's first time in a new market. Sure, there's going to be interest. I am already shocked at the amount they sold on a pre-sale day.
Yeah.
But Jericho is a star. But people have seen Jericho. You know what I mean? Like, Jericho's been around many, many years, wrestled literally everywhere there is to wrestle. People have probably seen Jericho at this point. Even Punk has been around many, many years if he is to come back. I mean, if he's not too busy shaking hands at Impact and Raw and wherever else.
Everywhere but where he works, bro.
Like GCW. He might be my mystery partner at FWF 5 on at the end of May, for all I know. Tickets available at, I think, majorpodmerch.com. Who knows what's going on with Punk? But, like, I know MJF is a star. Maybe just because I'm removed, I don't appreciate the level of star he is. Like, whenever I see him, I'm like, wow, he's fucking good. I just don't see anyone homegrown AEW guys who have shown to have that kind of crossover appeal just yet.
No, it's true. Crossover appeal it was Cody. That was their guy. Mm-hmm. Once Cody left, like, really, you don't really see them branching out like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one else really doing the commercials, doing the spots like that, doing the guest show. I guess MJF would be, the closest thing they have to it. And even then, he's select. He's not going on the Tonight Show yet or something like that.
Yeah, that's,
maybe someday. But so I just think it's maybe the name, just like, right, you go to a WWE show.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going on.
What's going on. You buy those tickets so far in advance. Even WrestleMania now. Like, when you think of like WrestleMania 3, the ability to sell 93,000 tickets. How, if you want to debate that number, whatever, we can do that at a different time. But it was because you looked at the match on top. It was Hogan versus Andre. People went and bought tickets because they were going to see Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. And they had other stuff. They got to see other stuff on that show. Macho Man Steamboat and Billy Jack Haynes versus Hercules, I'm sure, really packed them in. But, people went to see that. Now you just see WWE on a marquee and say, oh, I want to go see wrestling. So maybe that's the case with AEW too. Maybe it is. And I just haven't appreciated enough of the kind of brand building that they've done in the past couple of years that they've been around.
Because AEW does this thing where Tony Khan thinks, I don't need to announce all the matches for a pay-per-view weeks in advance. It don't matter. You're going to buy this. You're going to get tickets when it goes on sale. And then when it comes pay-per-view time, you're either going to buy it or you're not going to buy it. And maybe the last week I'll hype it up extra and get butts in the seats. But there's so many times where the co-main event is being announced 2 days before the fucking pay-per-view. So, and the pay-per-view still does great numbers, So it has to be just, this is what it is nowadays. When it's time to do something, you just got to get your ticket and hope for the best. Hope you get a good show.
Yeah, obviously the interest is there. They're doing well. They're selling out their pay-per-views. I don't know what their TV ratings are like, but obviously the TV ratings don't mean as much as they used to. They're still getting their money. They're still getting paid. They're adding another show, right? Is that, or
that's the rumor? That's the rumor. It's supposed to be announced in a couple weeks, and that's the CM Punk show. Whatever that means. I don't know how that's gonna work with champions and stuff like that. I don't know.
So what I had heard is it's going to be like a brand split.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be like the guys who don't mind Punk are on one brand and the other guys are on another brand.
It's so funny. So MJF just goes back and forth, and he'll be on both shows. Like that's the thing that's very odd. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, supposedly there's a new show. It's going to be Saturday nights because they've done some announcement for things that it seems weird that if it was like at a house show, like they announced the Owen Hart tournament that they do. And the finals is like July 17th, which is a Saturday night. Okay. So it's like, oh, what are they just going to do this at a house show? No.
Yeah, it'll be like a Clash of the Champions.
It's going to be like a new show. A Saturday night, I don't know. You think Saturday night is better than Friday night? Because the Friday night show doesn't really do.
I don't think the day of the week matters. If you want to watch it, you're going to DVR it. Or you're going to watch it online or whatever, however people watch things. There is, and we've spoken about this many, many times in, over the past years that we've done this podcast, there is very little destination viewing out there anymore. And wrestling kind of is because it is a live, it has
live sports. Yeah. That's the number one destination.
But even like 3 hours of Raw is a long time. How many people really watch a 3-hour Raw? Or how many people settle for the 90-minute recap?
Yeah, the ratings always fall off. Their ratings will always start off strong. By that third hour, like 50% of the people are gone. Like they have no interest.
Raw is its own worst enemy because of that. But you're not just going to get rid of an hour and give up the money that the network pays for that extra hour.
While they do it, the network asked for it. They said, "Okay, sure." We do what the network asks.
And now we're in the middle of a WWE draft. Apparently, that hasn't stopped. It goes on for a week or something.
They've always. They feels like on the internet shows and shit like that. It's
none of this makes any sense. And I don't like MVP has negotiated that. Stupid, yeah. Omos, I guess, doesn't want to be drafted and wants to go back to college.
He could be a free agent, so he can go to both shows. It's basically a loophole so that when they get tired of something or want to make a match happen, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Cody, he signed only a 7-week deal with Raw." So now he's free to go. He's free to go back and forth now. It's dumb. Like already, they do it every time.
But I think SmackDown won the draft.
I don't even. Well, I know what you're gonna say.
They got Rick Boogs.
Yes, they. I was like, I don't know who was. Oh, but I know who's on there.
So you get Rick Boogs on your show, you're immediately head and shoulders above the other brand. And the fact that he was like a 20th round pick, I think is ridiculous. It obviously shows that these people don't know what they're doing.
Bro, now we know who's gonna finally stop the bloodline. Here we go.
It's Rick Boogs and his friend.
Our guy.
He's got his friend that he does the Instagram videos with.
Who's that?
The other jacked guy, but he's got a beard and a guitar.
Elias.
Yes,
they are friends lately. Friend. Yes, they're friends now.
They both play guitar.
He needs better friends though. That friend's not gonna.
Do we not like Elias?
Do we like him? I mean, really.
If Rick Boogs likes him, there's obviously
that's understandable. There's something about it. All right. Yeah. I won't pass judgment just yet. I'm sorry, Elias. You're okay in my book. My bad,
see. So Rick Boogs and friends coming at you.
Can't wait. What you been up to this week, Joe?
Really had some company this week, so I've been kind of busy, been doing some tourist stuff, some fun stuff, but I did find time to watch our movie of the week, of course, and a little bonus movie, a new release, JoeMeZ.
Oh, a new release? What you got?
Over on our Disney Plus apps.
Oh.
PETER PAN and Wendy.
Oh.
Live action.
Yes.
I checked it out. I said,
So this is just the Peter Pan. Like, what's the? I was gonna say the hook. What's the catch?
what's the captain? The hook is the captain. I don't know. I've never seen the original Peter Pan.
Okay,
Obviously,
so
I know the
doesn't help.
story, right?
Okay.
So
Sure.
everyone knows the Peter Pan story, all that. This movie does seem to be a little bit more focused on kind of Wendy's angle in it.
Okay.
It's fine. If you have kids, they'll probably like it and dig it. To me, it was nothing special. I go kind of, if you're gonna look, go ahead and watch it. I'm not telling you don't go watch it. It's not like it's terrible, but I would say kind of between 2.5 main men, 3 main men, kind of in that area. It's like it's there. It's fine. It's worth a watch.
I saw it came out. I'm not the biggest Peter Pan guy, so it's not something that I'm like, oh, I need to check this out. But how was Captain Hook? It was
Jude Law
right?
Is
He did a good
Captain
job.
Hook, and Jim Gaffigan plays his
little guy.
number one guy, Smeed.
Okay, that sounds like good stuff.
It's all right.
I was excited. I was like, oh, they be a good Captain Hook. I got
there's nothing in this movie that I was overly like, oh, well, you know what? This person's really good, or this thing is really good. Everything is just kind of there and acceptable.
Interesting. Let's see what I do. I picked up a book this week. Paris Hilton wrote a book, autobiography.
Great.
It was interesting because we grew up with Paris Hilton.
I know, I'm sure it is. And when Miley brought her out on New Year's, that was a big deal. So the market was obviously ripe for more Paris Hilton content.
Of course, she talks about Stars Are Blind. She has a whole thing about it.
Must be half the book.
It's like
the first half. Okay, here's when I leaked my own sex tape to be famous. The second half, here's Stars Are Blind because I leaked my own sex tape to be famous.
Hey, it got us Stars Is Blind. That's all that matters.
And it's a great song.
It's good. So the book was good. Interesting. She has some crazy shit. She went to one of these like crazy. Her parents had her. Loud today. Her parents had her kidnapped, and taken to one of these schools where they, do a thing and they try to make you be a good person. Well, you don't believe anything about this book. What's the face?
I'm just like, oh, I was kidnapped and taken to a school for the bad. Oh, I'm sorry, little rich girl. Your life is so tough.
Bro, they were abused. It's like it turned out into a scandal, this school that she went to. Like, it was a big deal. And he's just like, whatever. I didn't know, because you're rich, you don't have feelings. And
they don't.
Like
okay. That's how I feel.
Fuck them.
I have feelings. I'm a boy with feelings. But obviously I'm poor.
And most of my time this week, I've been playing a lot of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is it came out 2017, but I never really got to play it much because I was prime Shiloh, pain in the ass baby mode, And
has that gone away?
It's different in the sense that I could go be a pain in the ass over there, and I don't have to look at her for like hours on end. You know what I mean? Baby, you gotta make sure the baby don't kill it. So that's your job, right? Just don't die, baby. Please don't die.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Now it's like, just go the fuck away. I don't care.
Like
if you
Paul
come
London,
back.
please don't die. You got to treat babies like Paul London.
Oh, I love Paul London.
I do too. What's he up to?
Oh, he shows up every once in a while. He pops up.
Good for him.
So I've been playing. So because it's 100 years later that I'm playing this game, so I wasn't really down with like the discussion and talk. So to me, I'm playing this game and I'm not really feeling it because it's like very different.
Okay.
Like and so I talked to some people and they agreed it is. So it's like what they did was they said, hey, we're gonna take a Zelda game, but let's make it one of these big open world kind of crazy games where you gotta forage for your weapons. Like, you don't get like one sword like in Zelda and that's your sword.
Yeah.
You get a sword and it breaks and you gotta go get another sword, and you don't get hearts. You gotta like find certain ways to trade stuff in to get hearts, stuff like that. So it's like so different. And so I'm not saying I hate it. Like, I don't hate it. I'm having fun exploring and doing stuff, but it's just, it doesn't feel like a real Zelda game to me. And it makes me sad because I started playing because a new Zelda game comes out in about 2 weeks. And it's a sequel to this game. So that's why I was like, oh, let me play this before I get this new one. I got to know what's happening.
So this one is Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
And the next one is Breaths of the Wild.
Something Kingdom, Tear Kingdom, something Kingdom. I don't know. But so like I said, I'm enjoying it. There's stuff I do like, but it's just like, oh man, I just want to find some rupees and just shoot my arrow at something and not work.
Yeah.
This game is a lot of, you run away from bad guys a lot because you don't want to waste your weapons. So you avoid fights. I don't want to avoid fights. I just want to jig up one of these goblin guys.
If I was Link, here's how a fight would go.
How'd it go?
I say, listen, sir and or madam, I'm going to put both my hands behind my back.
Oh.
At which point I will give you 3 free shots, which will not do much. But at the end of this, I'm going to grab you, lift you in the air, and break you over my knee. That's how this is going to go.
And then they run away.
And then they make the choice whether they want to engage or they want to be broken. That's how you fight.
If there's any Zelda fans out there who've played this game, hit me up. Let me know what you think. Am I gonna love it once I get past a certain point or something like that? Or is the game just, what it is? The map is insane. It's huge. I've seen people say they've beaten the game and done so much, and they're like 15% in the game. Like it's
Oh, really?
It's one of these crazy, you're gonna put 100 hours of gameplay into it. So
wow. Do everything.
To do everything, find all the shrines, the this, the that. So, that is fun. I do like doing missions like that, but I don't know. I am having fun. Like I said, it's good, but not great. A little sad. I'm a Zelda guy. So
I picked up a new Netflix show this week, JoeMeZ.
Oh, did you?
It's called, I was just browsing through and I saw this was on new release. It's called The King of Collectibles, The Goldin Touch. And it's about Goldin auctions.
I got an email that said that this was coming on there.
Goldin auctions, a very big name within the collector industry. They run, obviously, auctions for some of the highest end items within the sports collectible market. And now they've kind of branched into doing more in like Pokemon and music and other things that expand beyond just sports. And it feels like it feels obviously set up in so many ways, which I guess it's supposed to be, but the show's fine. It's fun. If obviously we do a lot in collecting, and you're seeing the people kind of go out and try to find people with these higher end items that they would be interested in selling and have them decide to consign it, sell it through consignment with Goldin auctions. And that's the first episode deals with one of the guys who has a game used Jackie Robinson jersey.
Crazy.
But he says he wants a reserve on it at $10 million.
Jesus.
That's what he thinks it's worth. And Goldin takes it. They're not necessarily happy about this reserve clause that he's putting in, but it only gets to 7.2 million. So now they got to go back to the guy to see if he would sell it for 7.2, which is still would be the record for jersey sale and all this. And they don't. So now they it doesn't hit the reserve. It doesn't get sold. The guy was adamant that 10 million was his number. Damn. And he stuck to it. I don't know, man. You tell me $7.2 million on.
I get it. I would love to get 10 if you could do your best to get 10, but to turn down 7, that's a lot of money for a jersey.
There's even in one episode, I think this is 7 episodes or something. They're all an hour each. And they all try to leave you with a cliffhanger for an auction that'll lead you into the next one. But there's a genuine kid who is 14 or something, pulls a Steph Curry rookie card out of a pack, gold refractor, so it's out of 50. So he had an offer on the table for $100,000 cash. Goldin is trying to get it because they want to grade it and then auction it. They think it's going to come back either, if they're lucky, a 10, but more likely a 9. Card comes back an 8 from PSA.
Ooh, Jesus, so
big
funny.
difference in price between those 8s and those 9s, and especially between those 8s and those 10s.
Jesus.
But it's also serial numbered 1 out of 50.
Oh, that's cool.
So they do beat what he had for that cash in hand offer. Not as much. I might have taken the cash in hand on that one for an ungraded raw card. Now, you know, when you grade something like that, you know, you run the risk because PSA is very temperamental with their grading sometimes.
So crazy. It's just a random crap. It's just this one thing that grades all these things, and whatever they say goes. Is there a rival grading system?
Oh, there's a few. But PSA is kind of the most
only one that matters.
No, I don't want to say that because there are people who like Beckett, BGS. They're kind of the number 2, and now you're seeing stuff like SGC is another one that has starting to do a lot more lately. I believe it was HGA might be one, or HSA something. People are using these smaller grading companies more and more often because they're cheaper, or because they like the way their slab looks or their labeling looks. There's one of the ones, I think it's the HGA, I believe it's called. They do you can specify what color label you want, if you want team colors or color match or something. That's cool. It's, if you're just displaying these cards for yourself, for your own personal collection, then you can you have a little leeway with the stuff you want to do. But if you are collecting with the intent to flip and profit off of these items, PSA is still the name brand in the business.
Very interesting. And these are half-hour episodes, hour episodes?
I think they're hour-long episodes.
About 7 episodes, you said?
I believe so, something like that.
I'm going to check that out because that is interesting.
It's fun little watch, and you get to see some cool items. There's one guy who's in Puerto Rico who's just got an insane amount of authentic jerseys, Jordan game jersey, just really crazy stuff. And you look at these people and you're I don't know, you see something like a Jackie Robinson jersey. That's obviously pre-internet, where did you get this? Where did you look? When you're into that kind of stuff, you kind of meet other people, or you find the people who are also into that. But it's just the internet has found a way to make the world a lot smaller. So if I want to talk about He-Man toys, I could go on and just Google He-Man toys and find a whole bunch of people, and then all of a sudden, oh look, it's Pixel Dan, great. I wouldn't have been able to find Pixel Dan 50 years ago. No. You know what I mean? So where did who had this Jackie Robinson jersey just laying around until it came to exist in this guy's collection? That's the kind of stuff that interests me.
That is interesting. Very interesting. We'll have to check that out. What's the name of the show one more time?
It's the Goldin Collectibles, something like that.
Oh, right.
Or King of Collectibles.
There you go. Netflix.
King of Collectibles, the Goldin Touch.
Yes, that's good. I'll definitely check that out because I've watched those stupid shows on whatever fucking the cable channels where they're auctioning, the fucking bullshit like a car or whatever, storage wars, shit like that.
I mean, I think if you watched when Netflix did the Toys That Made Us, this is kind of right in that ballpark wheelhouse. So any kind of interest you have, if you're more sports inclined, I would say this is kind of for you.
You watch anything else, baby?
No, that'll be it, except for the big one.
Oh, yeah. The end of video game movie month. Woo, what a month it's been.
Now, you saved this for the end, I would think on purpose.
Yes, of course.
Why?
Because it's got our double main man, The Rock, right? Back when we weren't so bitter about him, right? So this is
this is true.
This is maybe a movie that he's good in because he's not The Rock yet. You know what I mean? He's not doing what he's doing nowadays. I was wrong.
Yeah, you were pretty wrong.
So Doom, are you
2005 now? We're going back 18 years, which is pretty insane to think that The Rock has been acting for 18 years, and it's actually been even longer than that.
Yeah. pretty crazy, bro. That is really crazy.
So Doom 2005, obviously based on the critically acclaimed PC game from the late 90s.
Yeah.
Here's the description. Space Marines are sent to investigate strange events at a research facility on Mars, but find themselves at the mercy of genetically enhanced killing machines. Yeah, sure.
Kinda. All right. I thought there was another sentence. I was like, and then what? Okay, that's all right. Sure, that is kind of
there is literally nobody else in this movie that I think you will know except for Carl Urban.
And Gone Girl, Rosamund Pike. She's kind of famous.
Oh, okay. I didn't know she was anyone.
Yeah, she's the Gone Girl.
I just know this guy is Billy Butcher on the Homelander show.
The Boys.
The Boys.
Yes, he's in a lot of stuff. Lord of the Rings. He was Judge Dredd in the Dredd movie. He's in a lot of stuff. We enjoy. We're Carl Urban fans in this house. Whenever he shows up, it's usually a good time, good performance.
This is not one of those times, though.
So, what's your history with Doom? Is it a game have you ever played that like on the PC?
I played it. I didn't have it, but obviously I had friends who had it. So, and it was a big enough deal, and I was still young enough where like video games were still a big deal. I want to say I was about a freshman in high school around the time Doom came out. So, like at the time, I thought the graphics were incredible.
Crazy, right?
First-person shooter, blowing your mind, because the first-person shooter thing became such a big deal after GoldenEye came out. You know, but Doom to me felt. Yeah, I think Doom was before GoldenEye. Yeah. So that like whole first-person shooter aspect, and walking through the rooms and stuff, felt kind of crazy. Now I don't know the background story of the game.
Of it. Yeah,
like to me, it's just here you are. You got to get yourself out and kill these bug things, monsters, demons, whatever they are in the process. Here's your fancy gun. Cool. Sweet. Let's do this. So I played it, but I wouldn't say I ever played. I didn't spend 60 hours on this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I played Doom a little back then, the Doom you're talking about, but I was more of a Wolfenstein guy.
Okay.
That was my game. But Doom 3 came out probably around the same time as this movie, maybe a year before or something. And it was like the hot shit because it was like, bro, remember Doom? Now it's getting these like ridiculous graphics. And it was like, blow your fucking computer up because you can't handle the graphics on this fucking game, like one of those games. And it was awesome. So I played that one a lot. And the story is basically, similar where there's a portal to hell. And you're fighting demon guys, shit like that. But it was nothing really storyline driven. It wasn't until later on. Now these games are all 10,000 cutscenes and shit like that. Here it was just go in the room, kill people, go to the next room, kill people. So, but I love those games. Like I said, Wolfenstein was my shit. But a first-person shooter, GoldenEye, love that shit.
Yeah,
always love it.
Well, to me, it was like Doom, Quake was another one, and Wolfenstein were all kind of at the. They all kind of came out in a bubble.
Yes, 100%. Those were the ones. I totally forgot about Quake till you mentioned that. It's like Quake was huge. That was a huge thing. Wow.
Because I remember like when Quake came out, it was like, Doom, and it was like, I know Doom. It's like, well, you gotta have some Quake. It's like when it's like, yo, you smoke pot? Yeah, I smoke pot. Well, wait till you have crack. That's how it felt.
I know. I totally agree. So this movie is coming off the popularity of that game. I did not see this movie in movie theaters when it first came out.
No, neither did I.
I'm trying to think. I don't really remember seeing this movie ever. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
I definitely
to be honest with you. Because I'm watching, I'm like, none of this is really familiar. And I've played the game, but this don't mean nothing to me. So this was a first time viewing.
See, but even I felt like when this movie came out, by the time it came out, now you said it was around the same time as Doom 3, but for me, the Doom craze was significantly in the past at this point.
Sure.
At one point, Doom was a very big, kind of cultural thing because it was new and exciting, and a lot of people did play it. It was around the time where people first started. It felt like we first started having PCs, where PCs became, like things multiple people had. It wasn't just something strictly for the rich, like it was when I was a kid. But like everybody started getting their compact Presarios and their Packard Bells out and playing, installing Doom on
Gateway.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I just remembered I was a Duke Nukem guy. Remember Duke Nukem? It was like it was these games, but he was a wise ass. We got like a wise crack every once in a while. Oh man, I'm gonna start downloading these games now.
Didn't he get a movie at some point too?
I know that they've been trying to this day. They're still trying to make a movie. I don't think they ever made a movie. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. We would have watched it, bro.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I decided, we should definitely watch this movie because it's got The Rock in it. If it didn't have The Rock, fuck this movie. But we talk a lot of shit about The Rock. Nowadays, we can't stand The Rock. We question why we like The Rock. So I figured let's jump in the time machine and let's see what The Rock was doing almost 20 years ago.
So obviously a much younger Rock.
So young. He's such a baby.
A much smaller Rock.
Tiny. He's a tiny man. It's like so crazy.
The Rock is on the Barry Bonds juice right now for the past.
He's also got hair. The Rock has some hair. He has that
weird
hairline.
to see The Rock with that fucking colored in hairline, right?
It is like, whoa, boy, you should have shaved at this point. This is not a good look, bro. Oh.
Now, what was The Rock doing else around this time? Like, it felt like he was kind of on the come up, but at the same time,
he was doing everything. He was
doing literally everything at this time. Whatever he could get his hands on.
Trying to find like something that would stick. Like he was doing comedies, he was doing family movies, he was doing action movies. He was just trying to find something that he could latch on to, which never really happened.
No, I mean, really, when you think about it, is his big franchise really was Fast and the Furious, and it wasn't his.
Yes, but he was in the movie that kicked it up a notch, so he gets some credit.
Yes,
but no,
he does have to get credit for that.
Yeah, but it's not his at all, 100%. So
I'm looking at this. So 2005, the movie before this was Be Cool, which was kind of it was a very small role, but he got some kudos for it. Like, oh, maybe this Rock guy could act. And right before that was Walking Tall. So this is really the beginning of his real big, like, leading type guy.
The star of the movie. Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
After this, he does Southland Tales, Gridiron Gang, The Game Plan.
See what I'm saying? But that's a experimental movie, a family movie. Like, so he's like trying everything. Then the next is Get Smart. It's a comedy. He does another thing. So he is trying anything. A cartoon he has coming up here. The filmography.
Yeah, he's got an episode on Hannah Montana, an episode on Reno 911.
That's the thing. He was telling his agent, find me something. We gotta, whatever it is, we don't say no.
In his defense, at this point, there's still a lot of trepidation with booking a wrestler as a movie. Like, are we really gonna make this fucking wrestling guy a movie star? He's the guy, and we give The Rock a lot of shit now, but he did really set the mold for, hey, these guys can do more than just fall down for dollars. And that's why you have seen John Cena get other roles. And, Peacemaker's a real thing. Batista, man, is probably the best of them all. And, I mean, he's a legitimate star.
Yeah, he is.
So, we give The Rock a lot of shit now, deservedly so. But he's the guy who paved the way for these guys to have lives outside of wrestling.
100%. 100%.
Unfortunately, this movie sucks.
So it's not very good. I didn't think it was as terrible as all the reviews.
I will say I went in expecting it to be a lot worse.
Yes, 100%.
But even then, it's still pretty bad.
No, it's not. It's not very good.
And especially, it feels like they shot the movie sequentially.
Instead, let's turn it into a Doom movie.
And then by the end of the movie, by the third act, they ran out of money. So they give you the first person shooter bit where Billy Butcher's, doing his thing, clearing the rooms, Doom style. And we get the final fight, which looks as if they couldn't afford stunt doubles, so they just have these crash test dummies that they're just throwing up against walls. That looks horrible.
It's a really terrible looking movie. The sets don't look good.
No,
the monsters aren't terrible.
The monsters aren't terrible. No,
the monsters are probably the best part of it, but they're not even really in the movie very much.
Exactly.
They're hidden in the darkness. It's like they're doing like an alien thing where they're just going through the pipes and shit, trying to look for something. Every once in a while, a thing will pop up. But yeah, there's not like a Doom game where it's just massive amounts of monsters at all times coming at you. Nah, we got like 4 monsters for a total of 5 minutes maybe of screen time.
So, I mean, it is, and I think whereas The Rock does learn to branch out at some point and start playing characters, this is not one of those situations. He is very still clearly just being The Rock.
So I looked it up. It said here that the Rock was going for the main role there, but that he said no, he wanted to do the Sarge role
and be a bad guy.
I guess he wanted to be a bad guy because I wasn't expecting that. I'm expecting him to be the star, and then I see Carl Urban, and he's kind of like getting a lot of the shine, And I'm like, this is like a Carl Urban movie more than it's a fucking Rock movie.
Even on IMDb, Carl Urban is the top listed actor.
I believe that because we think of it as a Rock movie. I'm like,
this is Carl Urban. We do. Because even on all the promotional material, it's all The Rock is the front man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, nah, he's there. I'm not saying he's not a main character, but nah, it's the other guys.
It is a Carl Urban story. Movie, yes.
Which is crazy. I was not expecting that.
No, neither was I. And it was I mean, he's fine. Pretty much like all the rest of the actors are just fine in their roles. It becomes like a Predator movie where there's just a platoon of guys. So everyone's got their own little pole. They make their one line and they get picked off one by one. But I don't know what else you could say about this movie other than it's exactly what you expect it to be.
I'm gonna hit some music here so we can wrap up Video Game Month once and for all.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man? Are you our man?
All right, Joe. Doom 2005. Where does this movie fall on your main man standard?
We said everything that needs to be said. We expected a bad movie. We got a bad movie. Is it as bad as we expected it to be? Probably not, but it's still bad. Yes. And when you go in expecting a bad movie and you walk away from that movie going, yeah, this movie is pretty bad. It's especially bad because usually it's very easy to beat those expectations. This movie does not do that. So is it as bad as I expected? No. But there's nothing about it that even makes it good. So let's say 1.5 main men.
Sure, let's do that. 1.5 main men. That's fine. It's not great. There's way worse things we watch. And yeah. Oh, this movie takes place in 2026. We got 2 more years.
So a couple more years, and then we'll have to worry about these.
We got to worry about a portal to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Mars. This is Mars.
Yes, Mars.
So watch out, Mars. The Rock is coming.
Oh no, baby. So this week, Joe, you ready? We got a big one this week.
We got a big one.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, baby. It's got to be one of our most anticipated movies of the year, right? I mean,
couldn't be more excited.
What else is
trying to temper my excitement? Obviously, all the rumors are out there with what actors do and don't want to keep doing this. This is probably going to be the last go round. So we've come to enjoy these characters. We like them as a ensemble. Yes. And safe to say this will be the last time we get them in said ensemble.
It's going to be sad. I haven't read reviews, but I've seen like quick little tweet reviews. It all seems to be great. Everyone's enjoying the movie. One thing I have seen from a few people is maybe you shouldn't bring your kids. Like this might be a little. I didn't understand it.
I wouldn't think.
I know,
but Guardians was really a kids thing to begin with.
Yeah,
But we just think what any superhero movie is appropriate for children.
100%. Of course, it's got a raccoon in a fucking tree. Of course, it's a kids movie. You know what I'm saying? But you watch something like Shazam 2, there's some scary shit in there. Those monsters are kind of scary as shit, right?
I mean, I think all kids should be kind of educated to the fact that Philadelphia sucks, and and as early as you can teach them that is probably a good thing.
I agree on what you're saying in a sense, and something like this is good. Let them be scared in like a Guardians movie or a Shazam movie because it's scary.
Rather than a Rink movie and never want to watch a movie again.
Exactly. Like that's a good gateway horror to get them, jump in their seat. Oh no, it's kind of scary. Instead of going, hey kids, here's Evil Dead. Enjoy.
So I haven't seen any reviews for Guardians early. I'll tell you what though, I'm hearing a lot about this Flash movie.
Oh, bro, that's all I keep hearing about. It's just this thing is just crazy. I've heard so many rumors. I'm not going to say anything because I'm sure they're all true because people are jerk offs.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of craziness going to happen in this movie, and I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I just keep everything I'm seeing is best DC movie of all time. Hopefully, this resets the entire thing, and now James Gunn can go and have fun with doing whatever he feels like doing after this.
The thing too is with that movie, not that I would go out of my way either way, but do you even know what the movie's about? Like they're not really like we just know Flash is gonna go.
Seems like he's gonna go back in time to
but then we don't know anything else
but
that happens. Yeah. I mean, I know because I know the storyline that they're doing, so I know, but it's like they're not really, it's just like, hey, the Flash is going back and there's two Flashes and a Batman, and they never really explain, like at least like in the Spider-Man movie, they kind of explain like what the multiverse kind of is to get you. This movie's just like, nah, bro. We got Michael Keaton. We got a lady Superman. Come on in. Let's go. So I'm excited. That's in June. We got a while before we get there.
Yep. We also got we also have to get somewhere. I fucked that one up. I'm trying to do something witty to get us to the big finish. But how about we just go to the fucking big finish?
You got it, baby.
It's now time for the big finish.
Okay, the wheel is up, and let's spin it.
Do something fun.
Round and round we go. Oh, look at this. We talked about it last week.
Oh, okay.
We talked about it last week. Kelly Clarkson mentioned she has some new songs. Well, I don't know if they're going to make the list, but we're going to find out in a minute. Top 3 Kelly Clarkson songs. Here we go. Let me see real fast. I got to look.
I mean, Since You've Been Gone is just in all time.
Of course.
So sometimes you got to go chalk. And that's where I'm going. Since You've Been Gone, number 1.
100%. That's on the list. Has to be.
I love. You know what? I like Dark Side. I think is a good one. A Moment Like This, I love her version of A Moment Like This. Obviously, that's what put her on the map. Breakaway. Oh, geez, I do not hook up. That's gonna be on my list because you know me, Gomez. I follow that.
My life is so behind these hazel eyes. Oh, so
Walk
good.
Away.
I also love her
song.
I also love her Christmas song, Underneath the Tree. I love that song.
I mean, she's got a lot, man. She's had. We're going on what? We're about 20 years into Kelly Clarkson now, right? 100%. After the initial
I think it's like
American Idol,
2004, right?
Yeah, it's got to be around 20 years now, and she's had a hell of a fucking career.
Bro, what about her cover, Never Enough, Greatest Showman, bro?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I've seen Kelly Clarkson live only one time, and she covered Skyscraper, Demi Lovato's song.
So lucky, bro.
And it was incredible. So you can even, there are a lot of YouTube videos for, I guess that was a thing she was doing during that tour where she was singing Skyscraper a lot. So there's a ton of videos out there if you want to see it. It's really, really fucking good.
Yeah, she did. I saw her right before the pandemic, and she did. Every town had like a different. She did a different cover song. Everything. I should do that. Kelly Clarkson cover songs. That should be its own category. She's got so many
Oh man,
nowadays.
she does. She really does. I appreciate that because she's like a big star. She just gets to do what she wants at this point,
Yes,
and she's
that's
just
what made her
enjoying it.
famous.
Yeah.
Yes, it's made her famous. She's going into it. All right, since you've been gone because of you. Oh man,
I'm gonna go since you've been gone. A moment like this and stronger.
Behind these hazel eyes. Even this song "Broken and Beautiful" is from the Ugly Doll soundtrack. I've heard it
I'm
100
broken and I'm
times.
beautiful.
It's a great
I'm
song.
broken. So good.
It's so good, and that was Shiloh's shit. So I might have to put that one on there too. Woof, bangers. I'm gonna have to listen to Kelly Clarkson after this. God damn, she's the best, Joe. Oh,
Great episode today, Gomez.
Hit him with the plugs. Let's get out of here.
Guys, thanks for listening. Genuinely appreciate it. Thank you for all those reviews. Keep them coming, please, wherever it is that you're listening to this. Spotify, make sure you click those 5 stars. Apple, 5 stars. Leave some written words. Would be happy to read it. If you leave us a review, screenshot it, tweet it to us at JoeMeZ. That way we can read it and send you an 8x10 as a thank you to all our people like they did today. You can follow us. All the social media is at JoeMeZ. Instagram, Twitter, all there. You want to send us an email, it's cardjomez@gmail.com. Follow all my stuff at The Joe Shoes, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm all over there. Get one of these Shoes Clues t-shirts or one of those The Magic Shoogie t-shirts over at prowrestlingtees.com/Joe Shoes. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/Joe Shoes.
The Gomez 154 Instagram and Twitter. The Twitch stream was live all weekend. I showed some Power Ranger stuff. We saw Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, the movie from 95. That wonderful, wonderful thing. Everyone got to see those graphics I was talking shit about. Woo-hoo, boy. And then I followed it up. I showed a short movie that Joseph Kahn made that had Bo-Katan and Dawson Leary in it. Very crazy. And then a little known episode of, I forget the Power Ranger, Space Force, I think it is, some bullshit like that. But they had a crossover episode with the Ninja Turtles, bro.
Ooh.
The Ninja Turtles get brought over. This is the Ninja Turtles. Do you remember when there was a lady Ninja Turtle, the blue with the little boobies? She's in this one. Venus de Milo.
Yeah. That caused some shit. Thank God we didn't have Twitter for that, right?
Yeah, but there's a lady Ninja Turtle nowadays too, so they've gotten some of that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. They still got it. So that was on twitch.tv/mezmovie. You never know when I'm gonna pop in, show some stuff.
Yeah, give Gomez a follow.
Star Wars Day is coming up. Maybe there might be something fun on there for you to watch.
Star Wars Day, I will be at Hollywood Studios.
Ooh, lucky you, bro.
I'll be celebrating. I'll be wearing my Captain Picard t-shirt.
Perfect.
That way I fit in with everyone.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Oh, I love it.
May the force be prospering.
We'll be back next week. Oh, baby, we got a big one. The first big one of the summer.
Banger, let's go. Let's hope
Can't wait.
Like the Marvel's been letting us down. I don't want to say they've been letting us down. It's just they're short on the star power now. So hopefully this will be a throwback to the Marvel bangers that we all know and love, right? Let's go.
Can't fucking wait, baby. Let's go.
Until then, Gomez, let's make like Tom and cruise.
Peace.